Now, bandits terrorizing the northwest of the country have carried on seemingly without any checks.
Just last week, the criminals attacked Government Girls Secondary School, Morike, in Zuru local government area of Zamfara State, where they kidnapped 6 persons, including students and teachers. The news of the attack broke just as the House of Representatives resolved to summon President Muhammadu Buhari to come and explain how he is tackling the escalating banditry in the country. The spokesperson of the Zamfara State Police Command, Mr. Mohammed Shehu, confirmed the attack, saying it was carried out by an unidentified number of armed men who entered through the back fence of the school with intent to abduct students. Well, joining me via Skype from Frankfurt, Germany, is the Secretary General, Ijaw Youth Council Worldwide, Alfred Kemepadio. Thank you for joining us on TVC Breakfast. You, I'm sure, have been monitoring the security situation in the country for the past few weeks. How would you evaluate the approach so far by the government?
Presently, the security situation is already overwhelming the security agencies. And what I think the government should do and Nigeria should do is to move it beyond the doorsteps of only the security agencies. What is happening in the country just shows clearly that as a country, Nigeria, we are all being consumed by the various injustices and bad leaderships that we have experienced in the past. Like I keep telling people, and I keep telling those who are being in the corridors of power, that it may be good for you today, but the consequences of the bad leadership we give to this country is going to consume us one day. And that is what is playing out. It's in Zamfara today, it's in Lagos, tomorrow it's in other places. You can see so many rot that has been taking place in the country in terms of the distribution of wealth, the old nonsense. In short, as a matter of fact, you can roundly say a faulty structured country.
All right.
Most times.
Speaking about the structure, some have called that the president should have an overhaul of the security structure as so far operating in the system. Is that a way to go?
Yes, it's a way to go, but that's not the only way to go. As I can tell you, the whole thing is not just about the conventional security. We need to also look at the components of our political economy. We also look at the components of the kind of system we operate in Nigeria. Let me give you an example. Recently, the banditry in the Zamfara state was attributed to some gold mining activities around that environment. The first question we should ask, again, in the country is, who gave the authority to some people in this country, in other parts of the country, to go into mineral resources, however down below the sea, and mine it for their private benefits, and deprive other parts of the country, such as the Niger Delta, not to mine petroleum products for their private benefits? So if you look at these injustices, you discover that a part of the country has not only been suffocated from benefiting from our resources, but also, you discover that another part of the country has been benefiting, some individuals from that part of the country has been benefiting from resources that is meant to contribute to the so-called federal quota for the benefit of all. But
do we have the political will to address these injustices?
Well, we have the political will to address these injustices if only we can make up our mind to put it on. And that box stops on the table of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which is Muhammadu Buhari. And I can say this over and over. His age and his stage and his experience gives him the platform to father everybody at this particular point in time. I keep saying that this is the time for the president, mostly for the kind of age that he presents, to bring everybody together, irrespective of party differences, religious differences, sectional differences, and say, why don't we rediscuss Nigeria and see how this state can work better? This is the time to sincerely discuss it. The truth is, a major cause of the insecurity in this country and the other consequences that will follow is the insincerity of leadership. Leadership at every point in time is not sincere to giving the right jab to the problems that are facing us.
Now, you have been following these developments in Nigeria, in parts of the country where Nigerians are calling for decisive action from government. Now, what do you think, from your perspective, are the challenges that is ahead of government, that they are not able to curb these issues headlong?
We won't be able to curb these issues as long as we go on the line that we're going on. We need to do a proper root cause analysis or take advantage of the root cause analysis that have been profiled. First, we need to understand that the structure of our system and as a country is faulty. Our army is losing capacity to fight. The police is failing because of the lack of equipment. All of these symptoms are consequent upon the fact that we have had bad leadership over time. These things didn't start today. These things have been there. They are only showing up. Insecurity in the north, insecurity in the west, insecurity in Lagos and every other places. Before now, it was the Niger Delta, out of the injustices. So what we need to do as leadership is to get sincere, bring the cards on the table, and rediscuss the Nigerian state. Because the current security state is a product of the many areas we have failed in our economy, in our politics, in our culture, and in all areas of our human endeavor as a country. We have been unable to provide jobs. Out of this joblessness, some youths have taken crime as a job. We have been able to dispense justice where justice is supposed to be served. It's only in Nigeria that you see that over the years, you hear the herdsmen going about rampage and ravaging communities, and none is prosecuted to today. This is not to pinpoint any particular thing, but I am only saying this to say that we need to begin to fix these things and sincerely so.
All right, Alfred, we have spoken to so many Nigerians who feel that the capacity of the Nigeria police or the capacity of the Nigerian security agencies and army has never been in doubt when it comes to the ability to handle all of these things, that it is corruption within a particular system that is keeping this thing perpetrated. What do you say to that?
Yeah, that is true. The capacity of the Nigerian army that is failing fast and the capacity of the Nigerian police that is inactive is consequent upon the capacity, the incapacity and the cluelessness of leadership at any particular point in time. That is what we need to understand. We need to begin to ask ourselves, how have we been able to appropriate our resources in the country? I'm talking about the appropriation of resources in terms of the money we make from crude, the other resources, and even the appropriation of the human resources. How well have we been able to utilize our best arts? This is not the time Nigeria should patronize anything that sounds or looks like nepotism. So we need to work away with it. So when they say it is failure from that angle, yes, it is failure from that angle that is trickling down to all other failures. Even our judiciary is failing. I'm not trying to cite the case of Onoge. You have heard the many allegations where judicial officers have been bribed, police officers have been bribed, executives are compromises, contracts that are supposed to be done are not being done. So this is a time for us to rediscuss Nigeria. And you see one thing, I keep reminding President Muhammadu Buhari, the age he is in now ruling Nigeria is about same age that Nelson Mandela was ruling South Africa. And that age gives him the opportunity to reconcile all Nigeria. It is very important that we disagree, but we must disagree to agree.
Okay.
It is very important that you must take note that there are parts of Nigerians that are not feeling the Nigerianness. So we must come together and say what is wrong.
All right, Alfred.
From our constitution.
All right, Alfred, a good point you've made there. Now, what dangers lie ahead if this is not tackled headlong?
See, let me tell you the truth. Before now, politicians were feeding fact, thinking they were living in fenced houses. Nigeria is about being consumed. The banditry, the rascality, the criminality, the assassinations, the kidnaps are even underreported. Let me give you an example. I went to Abone, my community in Akokotoro local government area in Rivers State the other day, where the media, probably out of what they know, reported just about 5 or 15 deaths out of election. But I saw about 42 dead bodies in a morgue, just a morgue, and they said that. So what I'm trying to tell you is that the menace, the carnage that is happening around the whole country is even underreported. So we are really going towards extinction. We are going to be consumed by these things if we don't take care of them. Everybody seems happy, but now even the rich is not safe. You heard the other day that the president's ADC father-in-law was taken away. You have heard the other day that 15 people were killed in Katsina. So
yeah, we have to leave you here now. Thank you so much for joining us, Secretary General Ijo Youth Council.